Welcome to your PWC Connections, a monthly look at what's happening inside PWC and out in our community. We have great stories on tap for you today, so sit back and enjoy another episode of your PWC Connections.
Hi, welcome to PWC Connections. My name is Shawna Mcintosh, and I'm the Communications and Community Relations intern. This summer, I've been provided with some great opportunities, such as getting to schedule social media posts, interviewing employees and other interns, writing articles for our internal newsletters, updating our website, writing email blasts sent out to 50,000 plus people, attending community events and public meetings, coming up with TV show segment ideas, and even getting to be on TV. The exposure I've received this summer will help me with my future career endeavors, no doubt. I've been able to work on my communication skills, real work experience, networking skills, time management, and so much more. The valuable experience I've gained from interning here at PWC this summer is something I can bring back to the classroom when working on assignments or even listening to lectures. I still have a ton to learn, but now I know that what I'm studying is exactly what I want to do. Here at PWC this summer, we have a total of 17 college interns and 10 high school science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM students. They get to do some pretty awesome things all around Fayetteville. Let's talk to a few of them to learn more about the different internship opportunities PWC has to offer. Hi, I'm here with Brandon, and we're at Glenville Lake. He works in the watersheds department. Brandon, would you tell me about what a typical day is like for you?
So a typical day, if it's not too hot and it's not storming in the morning, we typically go out into the field. We're planting plants, taking water samples, doing sewer overflows if they occur. We also fire break, that way we can access the areas that we need out on the watershed properties. We've been doing a bunch of hurricane damage, which just is me and the other intern cutting up trees, that way we can access different parts of the watershed properties.
Brandon, what kind of projects are you working on right now?
Water quality assurance, which is where we go down in the streams and we collect all kinds of aquatic insects. The more diversity we have in the insects promotes a better quality in the water that's there. So the more insects that we see within the stream, we know that the stream is a healthy or moderately good healthy stream. And if there's not enough insects, we can kind of see how we can promote and try to introduce more into the water stream to help filter the water as it comes to Glenville plant or anywhere else down in the system. And then the second major project that we're working on is with the red cockaded woodpecker. We're working with the U.S. Wildlife and Fisheries Department, and we're going out and we're surveying new habitats for these woodpeckers, seeing if there's any new nesting activity that's happening around. And then we upload the GPS coordinate if we find a tree into their major database system. And then
So what would you say the most challenging part?
Most challenging outside of the heat is going to be probably learning the different types of plants that are out here. Whenever we're around trimming, there's some that are endangered, you don't want to step on them. So that's a real difficult challenge for me because I'm not a botanist by any means necessary.
What is the best part about working in the watersheds department?
Best part has got to be the scenery, of course the people, the wildlife you see out there, the beautiful plants. I mean, you're surrounded by neighborhoods and then you walk through a fence that's just covered by vegetation. You walk a couple hundred feet and then, wow, you would never have guessed that there's this great of scenery down in there. I mean, it's just amazing, and it's a privilege to be able to be down into the watershed properties. What are some of the most valuable things you've learned this summer? Some of the most valuable things that I've learned this summer is going to be how to sample sewer overflows. Whenever a sewer overflow occurs, we have to go out to that site, but it's not just taking a sample from that site. We have to see where it's flowing downhill, where's the upstream. So we have to look at all kinds of maps and data and try to figure out where this pollution is flowing downstream, and then we have to try to take samples from it.
And how do you think this internship will help you in the future?
I've always had a good background on how water flows in the ground due to my geology background, but I never understood like the biology behind it, all the different plants, insects, how it truly affects how the water quality, how they clean it up, how much pollutant can be in there. So it's great to have a biological background in that, and this is really helping me out with that part of my life.
Okay, great. Thanks, Brandon, for giving us your time.
You're very welcome.
This is Megan, and she's the intern at the Cross Creek Lab. Megan, what does a typical day look like for you?
Well, it depends on if I'm inside or outside. If I'm in the lab, normally we come in, we get all the instruments turned on. And like whenever you came in, I was pHing the meter, which is the calibration, and we have different kind of standards. So we have to reset every single day and save them, or else, because if you don't write it down, then you technically didn't do it. So that's all what it is here. You have to write down all these different bench sheets, as they call them. But normally after that, then it depends on who I'm working with. If I work with Miss Gina, we do alkalinities and we test the nitrates in the water. And if I'm with Miss Robin, we do these things called CBODs and reading BODs, which is the amount of dissolved oxygen, and what's behind you is she's draining it, getting ready for total suspended solids. And what that is the amount of, like, because it is a wastewater plant, so we are testing the amount of solids that are in like the filtered water and the effluent that's going back into the river. So, but if I'm in the field, then I go out with Mr. Kevin York, and we go to every single sample station. There's 130 in Fayetteville, and we have to do 120 a month, and so we do 10 3 times a week. So we go, what that is, there's little green boxes all over town. If you look, you'll find them. It's really not that hard to find once you notice them. But we'll take a sample, we measure the amount of total chlorine, free chlorine, and we take a turbidity sample, and we bring back a Bac-T sample, which is the bacteriological sample, which is what we have to turn in each month.
So what is one thing that you think you'll carry with you after this internship?
Just all the knowledge about like all the lab equipment, because my major is biochemistry. So I'm going to be doing this every single day for the next at least 4 years. So.
What is one thing you would say to a potential intern who might want to do this next summer?
Be willing to try new things. Like, I was scared of coming here because I've never worked in a lab before, but put yourself out there, step out of your comfort zone, and it will benefit you in the long run.
Well, thanks for your time, Megan. I know you need to get back to work.
Thank you.
Meet Cameron. He's the intern at the apparatus repair shop. Cameron, tell us about your daily responsibilities and what you do on a typical day.
Well, in the beginning, we go out there and we check and see if anything's took out of emergency stock, see if any lineman has come in and took anything out of our inventory. Secondly, we'll go into the back and see if there's bring anything that needs to be received in the shop and TTR it and pull oil samples and bring it into surplus.
So what would you say the best part about your internship is?
I would say the learning experience, getting to do everything that I went to school for, mostly.
And what would you say the most challenging part of your internship is?
I would say learning all the formulas, making sure I remember all the calculations right, not forgetting a step, because it's all about safety and it's dangerous.
So what is one thing that you're going to take with you after this internship?
My ability to test transformers, learning the impedance, knowing the impedance and the induced potential and all that, just learning all that stuff.
So if you could say one thing to someone who might want to intern here next summer, what would you say to them?
PWC is awesome. I mean, the experience is fun. My coworkers, I love my coworkers. It's just a fun experience. They teach you a lot. It's all about safety. It's just a good environment to work in.
Well, thanks, Cameron. Thanks for letting us visit the apparatus repair shop. Now we're in the purchasing department with their intern, Jake. Jake, tell us about what your typical day is like in the office.
Well, I come in and I work for both Mark and Jason with purchasing and internal audit. So some days I come in with Mark and some days I work with Jason. The days that I come in with Mark, right now I'm working on a local project. We're trying to increase local spending, so I'll look up potential local companies or contractors and subcontractors that Mark can reach out to. And with Jason right now, I'm going through the internal policies and procedures, and I'm trying to make sure that they match up with the general statutes.
Awesome. So what would you say your favorite part about this internship is?
My favorite part is definitely getting to experience the office environment. This is my first real internship, so It's been very eye-opening coming in here and seeing how everybody interacts with each other, kind of a real-world experience, and I've really loved that.
So what is the most surprising thing that you've learned here and that you know you'll take with you?
Probably how to interact in a professional setting, but also, you know, how to hold myself professionally, but also socialize with everybody in an acceptable manner. I think that it's great to be able to enjoy spending time and talking to your employees, but also being able to get all your work done on time and get everything done. So that's something that I'll definitely take with me.
What would you say to a potential intern who might want to intern here next summer?
One of the things that an intern should definitely look at themselves for if they want to intern here is being able to get their work done. Good time management skills are very important. Being able to communicate well with their employer. It's very important to be able to work on your own time and keep track of all your stuff, make sure you get it done on time, but also go out of your way to meet everyone in the office and make connections and stuff like that.
Great. Well, thanks for letting us chat.
Of course.
Now we're with Micaiah, a STEM student intern who works in the facilities maintenance department. Micaiah, tell us about what you do on a day-to-day basis here.
Well, on an everyday basis, it's not a routine schedule. We usually do either work orders, or if we don't have any work orders, we'll usually fix LED lights all around the facility.
Okay, so what would you say the best part about your internship is?
The best part about it is meeting new faces and just basically going around doing a lot of stuff and having fun while doing it.
Is electrical work the only thing you do here?
Not at all. I also do plumbing and fix kitchen sinks and toilets as well.
So do you think this program has changed what you want to do when you graduate from high school, or do you think it's reaffirmed your decision?
Not really, but it did give me like a plan B type of situation, and I actually kind of like it. So if my plan A doesn't work out, I'll definitely do it as a plan B.
So what are your future plans?
I do want to go to college for geology and study in rocks and stuff, and then after that, find a career somewhere.
What's one thing you've learned this summer that you think will help you reach your goals?
Be serious and get your work done, but also have a fun time and enjoy doing it.
Well, great. Thanks for letting us talk with you, Micaiah.
Thank you for having me on here.
Our last stop is here with Rebecca, and she's the STEM student intern at the Accounting and the Legal Risk departments. Rebecca, how did you find out about this STEM student internship program?
Well, my sister told me about it, and then I went online and researched, and I applied.
And how was the application process?
I wanted to make sure that I had the best information on my application, and then we went to the interviews. We had group interviews. I was very nervous for that, but I enjoyed it.
Rebecca, tell me about your daily responsibilities and what you do every day.
So every day I come in and I log into my computer, and then I have different tasks for my supervisor. He gives me different tasks every day. And then also I work with accounting and I do invoices. So I print off invoices for the account payable project. So just different things.
What would you say the most challenging part of this internship is?
The most challenging part would probably be being able to balance all of my responsibilities since I am getting work from both departments. It is kind of hard, but I manage.
What do you like most about PWC?
I like the environment. You walk down the hall and then you see people and you just say hi and smile, and I just love working with the different people.
Would you say this internship has influenced your future, what you want to do after you graduate from high school?
Yes, it let me know that I definitely want to work in a business, so I do want to pursue a degree in entrepreneurship, so it does help me with that, getting the office experience.
Rebecca, what would you say to another STEM student who might be interested in doing this next summer?
I would say definitely go ahead and apply. It's a great program and you definitely benefit. Networking is also vital. So there's people in my department who are connected to many different colleges and different other businesses. So it helps me with that and it'll help them.
Well, great. Thank you so much, Rebecca. I really enjoyed talking with you.
In order to generate electricity, we're changing forms of energy from a fossil fuel into electricity. In order to do that, we have to have a rotating machine turning a magnet within a coil of wire that actually generates electricity. If you look at a curve of the way people use electricity within our community, it goes up and down. And we used to shave the peak. We would buy a certain amount of electricity, then anything over what we bought, we generated ourselves. And the way that happened, people would start their stoves, the street lights would come on, air conditioners would come on, heaters, whatever would come on, and that would make the load go up. And we would adjust our generators accordingly to keep the right amount of voltage on the line. Our power leaves our generators at 13,800 volts, and when it leaves here, it goes through a step-up transformer and brings it up to 66,000 volts. And we put it out on the line on what we call feeders within our system. And it goes to different substations, and then it breaks it down again from 12.7 thousand volts to 7,200 volts, and then into your house at 240 volts. Okay, to help you understand, this is just a small model of a generator. This represents the motor or the engine that's turning the rotor. And as this rotor turns, it passes on a positive and negative pole, and it will generate electricity here. And it's very similar to what we have, except for we turn this into a magnet instead of having a magnet here. And if you can watch it, it will generate electricity right there. A little brighter. Making electricity sounds complicated, but it's really simple. It's just burning fuel and rotating magnets, and that's it. And that's how it works, making megawatts.
Electric cars have a major impact on local air quality as they have zero operating emissions and an overall reduction in carbon dioxide emissions. Electric cars also have lower operational costs and have lower maintenance costs because of fewer moving parts than gas-powered vehicles. If you drive an electric vehicle or are considering buying one, PWC has a great offer for you. Thanks to a grant from the North Carolina Clean Energy Technology Center, PWC has installed 4 Level 2 charging stations that can be used for free. Together with our partners at Fayetteville Cumberland County Parks and Recreation and Market Fair Mall, these stations have been made available across Fayetteville. Each station can charge 2 cars at once and are available 7 days a week. Free charging stations are located at Market Fair Mall, Clark Park, Honeycutt Park, and Lake Rim Park. For more information on PWC and our free charging stations, please visit our website at faypwc.com.
Did you know that leaving your chargers plugged in after you've charged your devices wastes energy? There's a lot you can do to help save electricity, like using natural light, or switching your light bulbs to low-energy bulbs, or not keeping the refrigerator door open to look. By conserving electricity, we save natural resources and protect the environment. When we use less, we waste less. Power, water, conserve. PWC.
Basically, the reason we're out here the past few days is there was a sewer overflow. The overflow was caused by grease in the lines, and we're out here to clean it up, get it out of the line, and then we're putting a camera into the line to make sure we're getting it all out. The camera, it follows behind the trucks that are actually cleaning out all the grease, just making sure it gets all the grease out, making sure that there's not any roots that the grease was getting hung on to cause more blockages. They call it a vacuum truck, but it's a combination truck because it does a combination of cleaning and vacuuming, and that's what they're doing several A couple streets down, they're cleaning and vacuuming all the grease out. Grease is a problem because customers pour it down the drain not knowing what it does. It goes down the drain into the sewer mains, and it just sticks to the sides of the walls, and after time it just builds up and builds up and builds up before you know it clogs up the pipe. Wherever the overflow happened, we'll usually go in and go several sections up and several sections down to clean all of those sections to make sure wherever the blockage was, we clean. People think just because it's a small amount that it doesn't matter, but when you take one person, then another person, and another, and you got your whole neighborhood doing the same thing, then it builds up and it builds up. And even though it's liquid, when it gets into the sewer mains, it solidifies and sticks to the walls, and that's causing the stoppages, and that's causing the overflows into the storm drains into lakes. It just causes a big mess. So the problem we have with restaurants is if they don't have their grease traps cleaned out on a regular basis, then the grease is escaping from the grease traps into the laterals going into the sewer mains, and it's doing the same thing. It builds up and it builds up, and then there's another overflow. To properly dispose of the grease, as far as household, they have the fat trappers you can get through PWC, or another way is just to take an old jar that you're not using, dump it into there. When it gets full, dispose of it in your waste. Definitely do not pour down the drain. And as far as disposable wipes, they're not completely disposable. They break down over time, so they still cause problems with the sewer system. Baby wipes, people flush with baby wipes not even thinking about it. They cause the same problems as rags, paper towels. They'll get caught. I've been on several jobs where laterals are clogged up with baby wipes. People just don't think about it, they just flush them. And just because a wipe or a paper towel says flushable, when you flush them, it takes a long time to degrade. It's not instantaneous. They still cause problems with the sewer. The way it affects the customers with the grease and the overflows is there's manholes in people's yards, in the front yards or in the backyards, and if there's an overflow, that overflow will happen in the backyard, or can happen in the backyard where your kids and your dogs are playing, and that's very unsanitary. So when you're dumping this down the drain, think about your kids. I mean, your kids will be playing in this. Another problem that grease can cause is overflows and backups coming into the house. If there's a house and a low-lying, at the bottom of a hill, let's say, the sewer's going to go to the path of least resistance, and that can be coming up into someone's house through their toilets, their sinks, their showers, and just cause a really big mess in your house. The reason I dispose of grease properly is I see what it does on a daily basis. Every day we always find grease. No matter what neighborhood, what area, there's always grease. And it's a big problem, and it's such an easy thing to take care of. It would make everyone's life a lot easier if people would just dispose of it properly. It would save us time, it would save our environment, and it would save our kids' environment for future.
Hi, and welcome to Take One. This is our chance to highlight news, upcoming events, and important FYIs from Fayetteville PWC. Let's get social on social media. PWC uses social media to connect with customers about things that matter to them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Pinterest, and Nextdoor. But did you know that PWC is on LinkedIn? LinkedIn is a business and employment-oriented social media site. Follow us for updates on job posts and business-related information about PWC. We regularly share info about our award-winning services and accolades across the utility.
And speaking of accolades, congrats are in order for members of our Finance Division. PWC was awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting, or CAFR, for fiscal year 2016 and the Distinguished Budget Presentation Award for fiscal year 2017 from the Government Finance Officers Association for its financial document preparation. It's the 10th straight year PWC has earned the CAFR Award and the 22nd consecutive year for the Budget Award. There are 90,000 governmental units in the U.S., and less than 5% obtain these achievements. Great job, everyone.
Great job. The Sustainable Sandhills film series is back and better than ever. Join PWC and Sustainable Sandhills on the second Saturday of the month for films highlighting environmental issues. The film series takes place in August, September, and November and will be held at the Cameo Art House Theater on Hay Street in downtown Fayetteville. Doors open at 10:30 and the films will be shown at 11.
Purchase a bucket of popcorn at the concession stand and settle into your seat for Bikes vs. Cars on August 12th. On September 9th, we'll screen Before the Flood, and on November 11th, join us for Tidewater. Like PWC and Sustainable Sandhills on Facebook so you can keep an eye out for upcoming events like the Sustainable Saturday Film Series.
Thanks for watching Take One, and remember to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter and Instagram and LinkedIn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We'll see you next time.
Ooh, for spring we give you a kiss by a butterfly. Butterfly kisses. Hello. So glad you could drop in. This is the time during the program where we always open one of the millions of letters that you send in every single week. We just pick one at random. Why, here's one now. Dear Gabby, I'm a rising junior at a local university. My advisor told me it is very important to complete an internship before I graduate so that I can get hands-on experience. She said the experience will give me an edge over the competition when I start looking for a job. Does PWC have any available internships? And if so, how do I apply? Looking for experience, Ethan. Well, I am the voice of experience. Your advisor is right. It is very important to have at least one internship under your belt when you graduate. Internships are a proven way to gain relevant knowledge, skills, and experience while making important professional connections in your chosen field. They're also a great way to get your feet wet and find out if a specific field is something you could really see yourself doing as a full-time job. Here at PWC, we have summer internships available to rising sophomores, juniors, and seniors in various fields like engineering, accounting, information systems, communications, and more. You can see the full list of available internships on our website. Click on the About Us tab and select Employment. Our interns are driven and important members of the PWC family during their time here. One of the best things about our internships is that they're paid. That's right. We will pay you to gain valuable work experience. What a deal! You keep those cards and letters coming and tune in again for your PWC Connections. And remember, you can always catch your favorite show on the PWC website, FAYPWC.com. Until next time, I'm Gabby. More power to ya.